Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cooking in Pink Boots. Want to jazz up your spaghetti, like adding to the heartiness and deliciousness while keeping all the simple things in life that make spaghetti that easy go-to meal? Yes, I mean, we keep the ragu, prego, or whatever pre-made spaghetti sauce your heart desires, but we jazz it up all around, turning our easy-to-make spaghetti into an easy-to-make five-star spaghetti. Trust me when I say the flavors will blow your mind. Seriously, it's one delicious and hearty meal. My husband calls it the big man spaghetti. Come on, let me show you why. For ingredients, I will be using 1 yellow onion and 5 cloves of garlic, chopped to preference, 1 pound of spaghetti noodles, 2½ cups of beef broth, 1 24-ounce jar of ragu traditional sauce, but feel free to use the brand of your choice. I just find the ragu to be more on the budget-friendly side, and by the time we're done, the brand will not really matter anyways. Moving on to 3 ounces of tomato paste, which is half of the 6-ounce can. Just refrigerate the rest for later use. 1 tablespoon of white granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to be straight with you. For this recipe, the pre-grated works just as good. Now, bet you're wondering, where's the beef? Well, here it is, 1.5 pounds of chuck roast. Now, because of the amount of fat in this cut, it makes it more flavorful and tender when roasted, making it the perfect choice for this spaghetti. And if you feel it's too much fat, do as I am here and simply trim it off, but it's really not essential to do so. Then cut your meat into cubes about 1.5 inches to 2 inches and just season lightly on both sides with what I call the basic kitchen seasonings: salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. And just season it to taste. All right, I had a camera malfunction, meaning I thought it was on. So here's what happened. To a hot cast iron pan, I added 4 tablespoons of EVOO, sauteed my onions and garlic for 2 minutes, then created a large well in the center where I placed my chuck. And here we are. All right, getting a light char on all sides, then adding in 2 cups of beef broth and my 3 ounces of tomato paste. And once that is completely dissolved in the broth, I'm going to add the entire 24-ounce jar of ragu. Then adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce into the jar and shaking it up, releasing any leftover sauce. I mean, come on, get your money's worth. Now, just add that right in along with 1 tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of dried parsley flakes. Give it a quick mix, then cover with aluminum foil or an oven-safe lid. And by the way, you can do this in a regular deep frying pan. Just transfer it into a baking pan if your pan cannot withstand 325 degrees in your oven, where you will allow this to bake for about 2 to 3 hours or until your meat is super tender. Now for this next step, you can do this about a half hour before your sauce is ready to come out of the oven or when it's done, but I like to have it all ready to go. So with my sauce baking for about 2 hours now, I'm going to get started with my spaghetti noodles. And I'm sure we all know how to boil noodles, but reminder to add in that salt during the boil. And it's all up to you on how you prefer your noodles, whether it be on the more al dente side or on the softer side. But whatever you do, do not rinse your noodles in cold water. After draining out all the water, place your noodles back into the pot and season with a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Then add in 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And with your noodles still hot, it should melt that cheese right away, causing it to feel a bit sticky. And that's how we want it. We want all that sauce to stick onto our noodles. Speaking of sauce, let's get that out of the oven. Now, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, it smells so amazingly delicious in here right now. And right now, meaning 2.5 hours later, where your meat should be super tender and sauce super thick. So here's where we want to add in that additional 1/2 cup of beef broth and just give it a stir. The consistency of your sauce should be a tad bit thicker than regular spaghetti sauce. Now, just give it a little taste, and if you feel it doesn't need any additional seasonings, add in those noodles, just twisting them in there, getting them well coated in that thick, hearty, mouth-watering sauce with those tender chunks of beef. Wow, would you look at that? You can almost taste it, can't you? Hey, speaking of tasting it, all right, now it's time to give it a taste. It is really good. I almost stuck my fork back in there again. So please give this recipe a try. And when you do, enjoy. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming food adventures with me, Charlene, from right here in my kitchen, where every day I'm cooking in pink boots. With her, of course. Bye.
Bye.